It was in beauty products. People are smearing radium all over their faces. Hola, and welcome back to Voice Memos. In this episode, I want to talk about an analogy that I haven't seen anyone else use to describe what's happening with AI right now. I've been thinking about AI a lot. I think as a creative, as a writer, as an artist, um, there's a lot of discourse in my communities about it, and I feel like there is not enough hesitation and resistance to AI in the greater sphere. So I'm hoping this can reach people that are outside of the creative community and help you think a little bit more about what AI might be doing to us in the long run. So if that sounds interesting to you, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into it. Alrighty, so what am I talking about? What analogy? I just published an article called AI is Everywhere, but So Was Radium. And when I say radium, you probably think of the Radium Girls, the whole glow in the dark watch thing where they're like licking the brushes to get the really fine numbers on the watch faces, and then they all get terrible health side effects from eating radium every day, all day for their job. So if you've seen a movie or read an article, you know it's pretty horrific. And the Radium Girls incident became like this national scandal. It ended with lawsuits, and it also meant more research was done on radium, more safety measures were implemented, and radium use in that way phased out over the next couple decades. And what struck me about this is how prolific radium was at the time. It was in any kind of product you can think of. And as I was researching it it struck me like how similar it is to how AI has proliferated, and we're seeing it in products that don't even make sense. Like, why does Snapchat need its own AI? I don't understand. Um, why are there AIs on random company websites instead of an actual chatbot that will eventually lead you to an agent? It's an AI that can just completely derail the conversation. And I talked about this a few months back with my episode on I hate useless AI chatbots or something like that. And I was frustrated then, and I'm frustrated now, and the problem has gotten just exponentially worse. In fact, on my work laptop, there's a button to summon Copilot. And although Copilot's blocked at work, I've got that button ready to go as soon as my company is ready to start enabling AI on company Wi Fi and devices. So, like I said, prolific, complete proliferation of products across all types of industries. And the same is true with radium. Like, we think about the Radium Girls, but I'm not sure we think about radium butter, radium condoms. I'm not joking. Radium infused water. It was in everything. And I sifted through this like almost 200-page long PDF of all of the known products that had radium in them or advertised to have radium. Because the thing is, radium is expensive, or was expensive. I don't really know what it costs now, but back then some companies would falsely advertise that they had radium in their products just to like get on the trend, or maybe the name of the product would kind of allude to radium, and then people would want it because back then in the 1920s people thought radium was healthy for you and it had a lot of health benefits. And that's why, like, the Radium Girls, that job was coveted. Like, it was well paying. It wasn't like labor intensive. It was just a technical skill. And they were paid very well for it. So people, and they got to work with this miracle radium, which meant that they were supposedly getting health benefits from working there. So back then, radium was seen as like this cure all miracle chemical. And I'm not kidding when I say they put it in all kinds of foods. They put it in supplements They put it in intravenous solutions, like you could be injecting radium straight into your body. Also suppositories, just right up your butt, pill of radium. It was shocking, like when I was reading this PDF, because you just don't really think about it. You think, oh yeah, they used it because it made things glow in the dark, blah blah blah. But no, they used it in everything, and it was in toys that kids were using, and it was marketed as completely safe, totally harmless. Um, it was in beauty products. People are smearing radium all over their faces. They're it's in their blush. It's in face cream. It was in all kinds of powders and what else? Toothpaste. Rub it straight on your teeth. Like, I was reading it and I'm almost laughing. Like, I'm kind of laughing now because it was so ridiculous, like how many things this was in. And it's because it was this huge marketing craze and everyone wanted it. Everyone thought it was healthy for you. They just had it in like pads where you could just put the pad on your body to like hopefully absorb some radium and get the health benefits. A big one was like cigarette products. So either it was directly in the cigarettes, it was in cigars, it was in like holders to like hopefully emulate some radium onto your cigar or cigarette. I saw one that was playing cards, but that one was fake. It didn't actually have any radium in it. It was just an advertising scheme. But yeah, like just hundreds of products. Like just no thought whatsoever to what this could actually be doing to people because people thought it was an amazing discovery. I mean, it was used to treat cancer. Nowadays, we have safer products that we know more about, like exactly what they're going to do to the body. But back then, like that was the main selling point. It's like, oh my God, we can cure cancer with this. What else can we cure if we just rub it all over ourselves? So, yeah, like just extrapolating a tiny but significant um, invention and use case into something that becomes this whole marketing craze. And so to take it back to AI, like that's what I'm seeing today is like AI being shoved into every single product possible as a marketing ploy. Like it might not even be useful in the tool that it's being added to, but because they can say now with AI, that becomes something that stockholders are interested in. And it's a jazzy thing they can put on their website. And it's a clickable thing they put in their emails. Like, just the overuse of AI is all just marketing. Like, there are some significant advancements in technology that we've seen from it. Like, that the idea that you can just shove a bunch of data into these LLMs and output something that is very readable, very believable as like human written, at least on the surface level, is a significant advancement in that kind of technology, but it's nowhere near what like even the lane of technology that will get us to actual artificial intelligence. And it has so many negative consequences in the way that we're doing it right now. For one, just the stolen data, the scraped training data, the scraped images, the scraped human text, like anything that's been posted to the internet, my blog posts, like my images, things that I've made, just whoop into the AI model, into that black box, and we don't know what else has been scraped into these models. So just stealing people's writing straight up, like that is morally and ethically wrong. None of these bloggers got paid, and then yet you can just type into ChatGPT, give me this recipe, give me this crochet tutorial, give me like all of these things that are definitely the work of bloggers and different creatives just smushed together and then spit out the other end of ChatGPT. So that's fucked. And then the images, AI art. I think a big problem with AI art is that it's called art at all. I don't think it should be called art. I think it should be called AI images because that's what they are. They don't have any meaning behind them. They don't have any technical skill behind them. And that's what makes art art, right? Is that it has been years of this person pursuing the craft and evolving their view on the world, their experiences, going into creating something. And whether that's as small as a little sticker on Redbubble or as big as a mural or like canvas being auctioned off, like all of those artists took their human experiences, their hours and hours of work, and made something that has meaning and value, versus the AI image generator stole a bunch of images off the internet and used reverse diffusion to turn your text into some kind of hodgepodge image. And I'm not going to get into all of the arguments for and against AI in the art space. I think there's a lot of artists that are already covering that. And honestly, the arguments for it are quite ridiculous, including it's some kind of disability equalizer. That's not true. They say that it makes it faster. That's not the point of art. They say it makes it accessible to everybody. Art is accessible to everybody. Just grab a pencil and paper. It's that simple. So, yeah, in the art space, artists vehemently against AI art and fighting for their lives, honestly, to not get buried in AI slop on the algorithms. And then the same thing with writers, like the writer space. I've been seeing more and more pushback to not even use AI in your outlining, because anything that you outsource to AI is now taking away from your ability to think critically, to get better at that skill. And it just this isn't a real word, it generifies it. The generification, I don't know. It makes it generic because it's pulling from all of its sources, stolen sources, and then synthesizing that into something to match your input. And so it can't actually create anything beyond its source material, if that makes sense. So that outline, that brainstorming session, yes, it's using, quote, all of human knowledge on the internet, but it's not making anything new. It can't make new things. And that's the magic that a writer can do. A writer can make something new. And yeah, like the early studies, and I referenced it in my article, aren't showing good things, especially for students. Students are getting harmed in the midst of this. Like, because it's so easy to just boop, copy paste the prompt into AI and then copy paste the AI response into your assignment, they are not learning. And the study that I referenced, they had a control group that could not use AI to write an essay. They had a control group that could use Google searches to help them write an essay. And then they had a control group that could use a LLM, an AI model, to write their essay. And that last group suffered. They did not really know what the essay was about. They didn't learn anything. They didn't have any ownership over the content. And over the course of the study, they got lazier and lazier to the point where they were just copy pasting. They weren't even reading what was coming out of the AI. And they got lonelier. Like, there's no collaboration, there's no sense of community with that type of workflow. And I mean, I just don't know how I would be able to resist it. Like, if I'm overwhelmed in college, and I've got 3 papers due, deadlines coming up, like, yeah, I think I would use AI because it just makes my life easier. It's a quick fix. But the thing with learning is quick fixes don't help you learn. So I'm really worried about the students of today that are being way overexposed to AI. I am worried about the art community and the writer community. They I'm glad that there's so much resistance from them, but it doesn't feel like there's that same level of resistance in other communities. And often these artists and writers get pushback from pro AI people. I've been seeing things about how the sycophantic nature of AI is leading people to believe that they are talking to a deity, a god, an alien. They think that they have um, unlocked or woken up their AI model, and that these AIs are souls. That there's a lot of overlap with spirituality in a really disturbing way with AI. And there's also just this disturbing thing where I didn't even know this was a thing, but people know when the ChatGPT servers go down and they care. Like, I have never been that level of user that would know that, but it has become a problem for some people because they can't even think without consulting ChatGPT or another AI model. And I mean, I'll admit I am not perfect. I've only really started critically thinking about my use of AI recently. Like, I have been skeptical about it for a while, but as somebody that loves technology, like, I wanted to try it. I wanted to understand how it works. And of course, like, on LinkedIn, like, they are requiring for some jobs to have like a year of experience using AI, which I don't even know how that's possible when it's only been out for like 2 years, 3 years. So, and it's blocked at my work. So I'm like, I'm not using it for work yet. So it feels like there's all this external pressure that if you don't learn how to use AI, you will fall behind. But then I go back to the radium analogy. It's like, yes, it was everywhere. But once they realized the harmful side effects, it went away. So I feel like if we keep highlighting that AI is not good for us, it's not good for creativity, it's not good for critical thinking, it's not good for learning, then maybe we can get it to go away. Because at the end of the day, these AI companies, they are not profitable yet. They are relying on the hype and the idea that at some point it will be valuable enough that people will want to pay for it. And I think some people are already paying for those like premium tiers of ChatGPT, but I know most people I know are free users. And if they put even like a $5 paywall on ChatGPT, all those users would go away. I mean, people barely want to pay for Netflix. I mean, we talk about like streaming platforms and how people are tired of a new one popping up all the time. ChatGPT, if it becomes a true subscription model, would be another subscription, like feeding into that subscription fatigue. So I know it's temporary. And people keep framing it like AI is inevitable, AI is unavoidable, just get with the program, get on board. But why? Because we're already seeing early signs of the dangerous side effects of it. And honestly, like, I mean, I just worry for people because I was using it the other day to help me code my website. And at first I was like, oh yeah, this is making me move so much faster. I'm coding so much better. And then I got to an issue where this is going to be a little technical. Then I got to an issue where my version of Node kept reverting to version 14, which meant that when I tried to build my app, it would fail. And then I'd have to go in and update it. We're on version like 22 now. So I'd go in, update it, things would build again, and I'd be fine. But as soon as I would close out of my project and then open it up again, Node would be back to 14. And I didn't understand why. So I was following ChatGPT's advice and I did all these different commands and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to work because ChatGPT knows everything. It didn't work. Okay. And once I closed it, opened it up again, I was so frustrated. I went to Google. The first result was the right answer from Stack Overflow. I didn't even need to go digging through the forms. It was the first answer to the first form in the first result. So I don't know what ChatGPT thought it was telling me, it was wrong. And I've noticed ChatGPT be wrong before, but then for some reason you just forget, or you like pretend to be like, oh, that was a one off. It just didn't know about that. But the thing is, it does that all the time without us noticing. And that is scary. And I think that's why people fall for it. They're being fooled to think that it is this all knowing supernatural being, but it doesn't know shit. Okay? To be frank, it doesn't know shit. And I mean, it's just surface level. It's so surface level. If you dig into any of its answers, it just starts like coming back up to the surface. It can't go deep on anything because it's just a generic thing on everything. So I'm getting like frustrated about this because I mean, I just don't like the direction we're going in, and I really hope it doesn't take a national scandal like the Radium Girls incident for people to wake up and realize this thing is dangerous, this thing is sucking the life out of people, and I just really don't want to see anyone get seriously injured by ChatGPT, but I fear it's already happening with the youth, right? Like they are using it on assignments, they're getting kicked out of school, they're getting like people are getting kicked out of college because they used ChatGPT on an assignment, and now what? They're kicked out of college. They're going to have to reapply somewhere else, and what college is going to want to admit them. They could have been a good student, but they had this like huge temptation over here. Here, I can take away the stress instantly and write your essay instantly. But then you're not learning anything. So, yeah, I could keep ranting. If you want, I don't know, a written version of this, you can read my article. I'll link it below. And yeah, I would just ask you to think about your relationship with these AI models. Like, what are you using them for and why? Is that really saving you time? Could you just spend a little time now to get better at that skill? Or, I don't know. Like, I think there are uses for it. Like I said, with radium, it started with something good that was treating cancer. And then it became this huge thing that was not good for us. So, there definitely are positive use cases for AI. So, I want to know what they are because I think the majority of people don't really know how to use it safely. If you liked this episode, definitely be sure to check out my other AI episodes, and stay safe out there. Keep making things, keep being creative, keep critically thinking. And yeah, if you want to know more about the podcast, visit angelageorge.com/voice-memos. I post bi-weekly on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and on my blog. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.